1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome back. I know this is very unusual, but something has come to our attention and we really need to address it. And this time it's about football. And in the building, I'm not alone. I am with a football pundit who should introduce himself because I think little Unaja, and it was a beautiful day and some things went haywire. That's why we invited you, Koti. You should give us a breakdown of some things that have happened in the football landscape. Welcome to the show.
Thanks very much. I think I just have to clear out something.
Yes.
I don't take myself as a football pundit.
Yes.
I'm just a legal practitioner who has got passion for soccer.
Yes.
I have not been involved too much in football puntery, but yes, where necessary, where I'm needed to comment on one or two concerning issues relating to football, I would say yes, but I shouldn't.
You're just a passionate.
I shouldn't qualify myself that much. Okay. I should just say that I'm just a legal practitioner who follows soccer so much, enjoys football where necessary.
All right.
Yes.
So let's address the people. Who am I with in the studio today?
Okay, so I am Gift Katumbu. Yeah. I'm a lawyer by profession. I'm in private practice. I am with Kita and Company.
Yeah.
But also I enjoy playing social football in the Malawi Law Society committee. I'm hugely involved when it comes to football, soccer issues, sports issues. So we have also a team, a social football team, which we play called the Malawi Law Society. So we play with different teams against different teams where necessary.
Yes.
So far, that's the little bit about myself.
I feel like you're being very humble when you say you don't consider yourself in the punditry way, but I feel like you're passionate about it. If you didn't make it in law, you could have been an athlete.
No, not much. I enjoyed playing volleyball when I was in secondary school.
Yes.
A bit of college football. I've always not involved too much myself in football.
Yeah.
I think I once got injured when I was in secondary school.
Yes.
When I was playing football at a competitive level, house games. But I used to be okay. I used to score goals.
Yes.
But if I had made some serious trainings, I would have been somewhere. But I think I remember very well the assignment I got from home was go to school and work hard and come back with something else. So I thought that sports was being a distraction to my aims and goals, but also I think I am when I do things with passion. When it comes to studying, I study hard. When it comes to doing things, I do. So sports, I used to get in trouble with friends.
Yes.
If there is a need to start a fight,
you would start a fight to defend us.
So I used to have disciplinary issues with school authorities. So I decided that this shouldn't be my thing. Yeah. Even now when I'm playing, people know that the moment I want to win, I want to win. So I think that kind of attitude with sports, I think I had to take myself out of that. So I just feel like for now, we can be talking about football. We can just be supporting. Yes, that's it.
All right. I feel like when I'm in a legal issue, I know who to defend me.
You see, so
I know who to defend
if I want to defend you, I'll defend you passionately.
All right.
That's what I can say.
Okay, so talking about the defense, I think today there was a decision that has been made.
Yes.
About the CAF Championship, which has been moved from Senegal to Morocco. I'm somebody else who follows football, but not that much. And at the same time, that's why I wanted to get it from you. I wanted to understand the depth of the action that has happened in different angles. So in the very beginning, is this a decision that has been made on time or it's a decision made too late?
They always say justice is never delayed. The Moroccans, they say, what they're saying now is they have gotten their justice.
Yeah.
what they have been longing for. And you have to know that what has happened, it has not happened in a vacuum. It's not like CAF just woke up and say, let's decide on this.
Yes.
There was a complainant.
Yes.
There was an appeal.
All right.
Yeah. Panali appeal imene mpira uja utachitika utata.
Yes.
Pali sinaka the game was ended by the referee.
And the referee
making a decision that Senegal has won.
Yes.
But Morocco saw that there were some things which they felt were not in line with the regulations of the
football.
In this particular instance, we are talking of AFCON regulations.
Yes.
So the whole tournament had its own rules and regulations.
Yes.
They were called AFCON regulations of 2025 because that was 2025, 2026.
Yes.
So they would say if this is done this way, then this should be done that way. So I think the Moroccan lawyers who are entrusted with the sport issues looked at that and found some grounds for appeal. You know, you have seen this even when any game here in Malawi in Super League when Bullets is playing Wanderers and something has happened. Somebody would say we'll go to Sulom. If it was a league game, we'll go to Sulom. In the game this happened. How would you look at it? A recent example in Malawi was that game where Wanderers was playing Ekaya, and during the match there were rains. You remember?
Yes.
Then it happened that the match was abandoned.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
But later on, I think Sulom came in. I mean, I think the competition was what? I think it was Super League, Then Sulom came in and said, what prompted to the ending of the game? Okay. Did you follow the rules for the game to end? To be ended at that? At that
the weather, I think.
So all those things.
Yeah.
So later on, before Sulom had passed on its verdict, there were suggestions by different quarters, opinions. Maybe the match will just be forfeited. All teams will be given 0-0. All that, you know. But Sulom later on decided to, I think, fine the teams, sort of that. Yes. They fined the teams and then ordered a replay, go and play again. So they started from 0. I think the match was abandoned at 50-something or 60-something. Yeah. So I'm just giving an example. So what I was saying about Morocco and Senegal, that was some sort of... so Morocco, I think from what I've seen and from what I've read, is that Morocco appealed to
the CAF board.
The CAF board.
Yes.
And then the disciplinary committee looked at what had happened, looking at the grounds by Morocco to say the conduct by Senegal leaving the pitch to the dressing room for around 10 minutes, that amounted to the abandonment of the match. And according to CAF regulations, I think it's Article 82, it says where a team with it. So there are many instances. So where a team withdraws from the tournament, so this is a tournament. I think that's the rule which looks at that. Or the team abandons the match or leaves the match, the field of play before the referee ends the game. Then the referee shall end the match and giving the win to the opposing team.
Like the other team has forfeited the game. So in this case, that means the Moroccans appealed that Senegal had forfeited the game.
By the fact that Senegal had left the pitch for that long period, it amounted
to a forfeit.
It amounted to the abandonment. Let's not use forfeiting, but abandonment. They abandoned the match.
All right. So
the punishment for that is found under Article 84.
Yes.
So the punishment is what I said. The referee has to award
the other team.
If it was in group stages, it would have been points.
Yes, the points could have been awarded to the
other team. But this was now a final. So a win
has to go to the other team. All right. Waking up today, now there's so much that is happening in the football space. And I think the speculation says that they also want to appeal the decision that they are not going to give the trophy. Now, on the other side, looking at them, do you think there are legal grounds that they can still claim their trophy, or this one has gone to Morocco?
In law,
Yes.
because this is all in law.
Yes,
In law, what we say is there's a famous maxim we use. We say law is an unruly horse. Ndi bulu osamva uchi akozolowera uku unkwabula uku alowera uku.
Yes.
An unruly horse.
Yes.
Kodi horse ndi bulu
Horse, I think horse ndi bulu.
So ndi uja ukankwabula uku alowerera uku. So what I'm trying to say is malamulo amatengera kodi amene akugamulawo pali pawiri. Pali malamulo ena ali very straightforward.
Yes.
Pansewu yendani ku left. Ku left ndi ku left. Ku right ndi ku right. Mwenda ku right. Kwa pali pena olo mutiyekeze mu mpira when you are playing football, when you are a referee. There are other decisions. For example, a goal is a goal. If it has crossed the line, it's a goal. But there are sometimes a referee is given a duty to interpret whether the ball has crossed, the whole ball has crossed or not. It's a matter of interpretation.
So this is a case of interpretation.
These are now facts which, from what I'm looking at, the CAF body has interpreted the rule.
Yes.
Demo interpretation now, it's you and me now.
Yes.
We can even argue.
We can argue about.
For example, abanga interpret unena kuti kuchoka kwa Senegal mu bwalo moja kupita ku dressing room. I think it was around 10 minutes.
Yes.
It amounted to abandonment. Now, you can ask questions to say,
what caused
have you left the pitch permanently? But we get a situation whereby within 10 minutes they were back. Remember, Sadio Mane was still on the pitch,
on the pitch,
trying to woo his friends to say, "Guys, come on, we can do this." And all that happened, and everybody applauded Sadio Mane for the courageous act
of calling his team.
And if it is to do with fair play, Sadio Mane should be a contender at the international awards, FIFA awards. He should be recommended for that. But these judges,
they have now to argue on interpretation.
They argued. So I think they argued to say, no, you left
the pitch.
You left the pitch. That amounted to. But for me, I would still argue to say, but they came back.
They came back.
Because there was this little misunderstanding. So your question was, do they stand a better chance of winning? It's, as I said it's an unruly. It can go this way or it can go that way. At appeal, so this was CAF. So the next appellate body is what we call Court of Arbitration, which is found in Lausanne in Switzerland. Switzerland is like a hub of international courts.
A lot of things, banks and Swiss accounts and everything.
So I think it's that area. International Court of Justice is in Hague, Netherlands. It's the same, but this is now Court of Arbitration. Now, Court of Arbitration is like the Supreme Court of all sport disciplinary bodies, the courts, all the courts. So CAF is the African Confederation of African Football. So we have got CONCACAF in the American side, that the Asian, they have got the EU has got what we call UEFA. So wherever you feel aggrieved by these bodies, the Supreme Court of all these courts is the Court of Arbitration.
All right.
So at the Court of Arbitration, that's where Senegal
has gone to.
Now, will Court of Arbitration rule or decide that CAF had applied its own rules wrongly or not? That's the question which will be there. The Senegal team will bring in this case we're talking Senegal Football Association, will have to bring in
whatever they are also disputing. Morocco has also to bring.
So Morocco will respond the way things are. When you put in a complaint, the other person responds. A right to be heard. So at the Court of Arbitration, the duty of the Court of Arbitration will be to look at what CAF has interpreted in its own
in the capacity interpreted. Is it right or not?
Is it right or not? But at the same time, they will have to compare with the international rules
of now football.
FIFA rules now.
Oh,
so
now we are playing on FIFA rules.
No, they will interpret their own rules. But is this rule
applicable?
Is it the one which
governs
the whole football body? But going back to your point, saying has this come late or not? You know, football is a game of emotions.
Yes.
You can't win today
and tomorrow you have lost after the trophy.
I was looking at some because there are a lot of things which have come. I was looking at some memes which are coming out.
Yeah.
I was looking at the jokes which are coming out.
Yes, they are men.
They are men. You go. They are now saying, okay, let's go back to the hand of God of Maradona.
Yes.
England, 1986.
Yes. No,
England won that game. England won that
game. Won that game because what you're saying. So now you have to bring the trophy on the other side.
I saw another one. So England won that game because there was a mistake. So England won that game. You can
a lot of things become debatable on the spectrum of time.
The question is this decision
timely or late?
Maybe that's another thing. Is it about soccer? Soccer is about emotions. You enjoy then you are told no, the happiness you had. Remember they are betting companies.
Yes, that means people have already cashed out.
Somebody took the money because somebody.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to check historically, has this ever happened? A major tournament decision being overturned because of some
behavior
later on. So I checked this and that. This is
this is the first of its kind.
First of its kind. I can comfortably say so.
So this is history in the making.
This is history. But as I said,
yes,
I just feel like the court of arbitration may have a different view. Sometimes when you are the duty of adjudicators, duty of judges, magistrates, lawyers, whatever, when you're making a decision, you can't just make a decision in a vacuum. You should make a decision with the realities.
A balanced one.
There should be a reality. Football was played. Football is played on the pitch. It's decided by goals.
Now, they have won by goals. But now you are revoking it by behavior.
He was given a penalty, that boy, Ibrahim Diaz. He was given a penalty. He missed. And then they played. There we go. So anyway, but as still more as you have put it, it's something which, as I've already pointed out, I feel Senegal, because for me, I'm still my point now as me. If you ask me, my personal opinion is they didn't leave permanently. Yes, they went out.
Yes.
Sometimes a match can stop for 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
I think. Here in Malawi also we have got such. I think Sulom has got that rule as well.
Yeah.
If you remember very well, we had an incident. I think it was Wanderers. They were playing with is it Silver Strikers? So this was a typical withdrawal. Wanderers, I think they were supposed to do something. I'm just remember but I think 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So Silver Strikers had to wait on the pitch for. So the whole Silver Strikers team, it was at Kamso Stadium.
Yes.
They were on the pitch for almost 15 minutes.
Yes.
So the referee, the rules say within 15 minutes, if the team doesn't show up, it has forfeited. The points go to the other team or the win has gone to the other team.
Yes.
I think it concerned some Wanderers was trying to protest against something.
Yes.
Malawi don't have records where I can go and read.
Malawi, our data is
kunogo mpira ukamamenyedwa ngati sikumumvera Steve Liwewe basi. Your internet, you can't check. Pasofa score amanena after game. Marizati umaona bwino after game. You can't
other countries.
So we also, this is one of the things here in Malawi we are lagging behind. If you want to follow soccer, it's a hassle.
Yeah.
We have got 6 games being played at once.
Yeah.
They will just choose Wanderers versus Silver Strikers. And when Bullets fans want their game, like Bullets is playing, let's say, there's a Dynamos.
Yes.
Because MBC can only manage one game.
So the other games are not really having the spotlight.
And there are no replays. And when you're watching the screen, sometimes it's like if you're watching a 1980 game.
Yeah, the quality is.
But
also
anyway, that is the
questionable.
story of another day. But
Yeah.
let's not divert much.
Yeah.
I was just trying to respond to you on whether this decision aligns with what football is all about. It's passion. It's passion.
Yeah.
Whether you have been wronged here, people heal. Football. The thing about football is people.
There's another game. There's always another game.
People don't take time to heal.
There's always another game.
So you can't go. We can't be going back to go back to that scar and start that wound again. This is what has happened.
So what's the future of now African football, like on the global scale, when you look at the competency of us and whatever it is, because CAF is supposed to be big for us as a continent, and if we are going through these now flaggers here and there, what image does it give African football on the international now market?
Yeah, I think it's a very good question. I don't know if you follow the English country. There was an issue before the AFCON. There were these pundits who were discussing about African football. There was Jamie Carragher, Thierry Henry, and Mika Richards.
Yes.
So Jamie Carragher made a comment to say African football. AFCON is not a major tournament. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter.
He suggested to say AFCON is not a major tournament. Yeah. So his justification was, okay, the issue came about when Salah, the topic of discussion was Salah. Yes. So the guys were saying, okay, if Salah wins the Champions League and also wins the African Cup of Nations and whatever, and the Premier League, he can be considered for Ballon d'Or because he has also won AFCON, which is a major tournament. So Carragher said, no, you can't put AFCON as a major tournament. So, he was in trouble. He was asked to apologize. I'm just trying to... No, it didn't take time.
Yes.
When that thing happened.
This is happening.
This is happening. You saw what happened. Yeah. Everybody looked at us,
and it was like, "What are you doing?
This is this." That was unjustifiable. If you look at, so again, going back to your question, how we are fighting for credibility on the international scene, and then these things are happening. But for me, if you know the functions of the laws, the regulation rules anywhere is to try to avoid doing things in some bizarre way. Yeah. If we allow, maybe this is what the arbitrators at the CAF are considering.
Yeah.
If we leave Senegal unpunished, then I've seen few even social football games when the referee has made a decision which they are not liking.
Yes.
They're walking out of the pitch.
So if it goes unpunished, it's now gonna.
That's what I'm thinking. We are going to set a very bad precedent because what Senegal did there is like they benefited from the wrongdoing. I think if you remember that game, imagine if that penalty was shot when it just had happened.
Yeah.
You know, if you have played football, a simple distraction on you can affect. But that took 10 minutes. You're coming back. Your first kick is to kick a penalty. That affected maybe the Morocco team. So it's like, even if you have watched games where managers would make a substitution just for a player to take a penalty, most of the times those players miss because they have not warmed up.
So
they are not.
They were supposed to be warmed up,
whatever. So they end up missing. So that's what happened to Ibrahim Diaz. He waited for 10 minutes. All those things came in. All those things happened. And then he shot that pen. So maybe I'm just looking at it to say, because what happened was wrong.
Yes.
What happened was wrong. But then how do we just leave it that way? So maybe CAF is just looking at the bigger picture.
The bigger picture also.
So I wouldn't blame them for making that decision.
All right. Yeah. In wrapping up this conversation, because at the end of it, I think I really had so much questions around it, and I wanted to understand the legalities around it. Now, when in closing, what could be your say if you had an opportunity of giving your opinion, because I know you are a legal personnel, so you saw it from your from that perspective, and you've also given your input, your personal input. But now, what's your personal opinion on African football, and what can we do better? Because as you're saying, if a pundit said CAF is not a bigger contest on the international market, what is your say if somebody else was listening, or maybe a team manager was listening about our football now for us to sell it on the international market? Because this is not selling a good picture if you were to give your opinion as somebody else who loves football.
I would do. First of all, in backing up that whether AFCON is a major tournament or not,
Yes.
For me, the measure is not in terms of the issues surrounding the game or whatever, but first of all, look at how big we are as a continent. First of all, we are a bigger tournament.
Yes.
Secondly, is only we as Africans, what are we doing to make ourselves something huge?
Yeah.
You know, if you go in major leagues in Europe, there are many Africans there. They all come from Africa.
Yeah.
But if you look at the story of any African footballer, how they started playing football, look at Sadio Mane. What does he tell you? He tells you that he had to walk so many miles to go to the city.
Yeah.
He aligns himself to a certain football academy, whatever. But nurturing ourselves as football is money right now.
Yes.
A lot of money.
A lot.
How do people in Malawi start play football? You'll be surprised. It's because they scouted him playing in a social game.
Like this one.
How many academies do we have? How many? So there's a lot to be done here in Malawi. How are you promoting the teams? I'm just giving an example in Malawi. How are you promoting the teams?
The branding of everything, from the healthcare of the players.
If you look at Malawi, the teams are struggling. They will qualify into the top 5, but they are failing to survive? Monetary wise, they are failing to survive.
Yes.
It's the only teams in Malawi, for example, who have got serious sponsors.
They are the ones maybe owned by banks and rich
government.
Yes.
And if it's not a profit, now we have got 2 profits into the game.
Sponsoring.
I think there is another one. Mitundu Baptist is owned by. Okay. But let me not divert to your question to say there is need to be done, starting from the grassroots officiation. If you watch the type of officiation which we have, you watch the replays.
You're like,
okay, you see all that.
Yeah.
How do we develop from there? Remember, if the official we have in this country, who qualifies to go for CAF. We had the whole tournament, no one from Malawi. But now again, officials from CAF. At World Cup, they have to get officials from CAF. Will that Indara guy who officiated in Morocco and Senegal, I think he's Indara, will he go to World Cup in Canada, USA? So Africa. Again, it's not only him, but the moment the game is going to be played, Argentina versus England, a referee from Africa. How are the people going to react?
Yeah.
This is a referee from Africa. You know, this is a continent where that referee failed to control a match. How are you going to give us this referee?
That is not going to give us respect on the international market.
So it's not only that game.
Yeah.
As you have said, it's the whole picture you have.
Yeah. The bigger picture of the whole entity.
You see, so there's a lot to be done, starting from zero, going up, clubs, national team. I mean, before you were just talking about issues to do with nation. How is the selection done?
Yeah.
You will see teams are not performing well in the league, but because the coach likes some team,
some team will be like,
they will play, sacrificing the team for just because you like. If I was. So those are the things.
Yeah.
So there's much to be done. And for me, whatever happened on that incident has got a serious bearing. If you check the media, the BBC, what they're saying about us in terms of that decision, it's something else.
Ladies and gentlemen, football, we cannot deny the impact of it with us as people, and even the global impact football has had. And these are conversations we are supposed to have. And at the end of it, we are here trying to facilitate conversations so that we are able to trigger mindset, because I've always believed it's the information that we know that we are able also to act on accordingly. So I am glad that you came to help us make some clarifications and just to be able to hear it. As you have said, Kuti, these things that have happened, they have a bearing not only on Senegal and Morocco, but the whole continent at large. That, okay, this is Africa, and we are representing Africa, and we are part and parcel of that Africa. So I am really glad that you showed up. And when we have football concerns, as you have said, you are passionate about football. So you are the first person who would call and be like, okay, can you join us? What do you think about it, yesterday? Ladies and gentlemen, that was an emergency segment concerning football, but we had to address it, and we would also want to hear your comments in the comment section, because as we have said, this is Africa, and it also concerns us because we are part and parcel of that conversation. Sir, thank you very much for joining us today.
Welcome.
Until next time, bye.
1, 2,